discussing, and it's about employee relationship and how should people be acting professional towards each other, even if we're age mates. What are the dangers of hugging, kissing, holding hands? Because we see that a lot in the office. I mean, you're cruising about, you're holding your workmate's hand, and the MD is just, has just passed.
It breeds a lot of familiarity.
Yes.
So even discipline becomes an issue.
Yes.
Because you're not able to now correct that person because he's your friend or a very good acquaintance.
Right.
So in such cases, we should minimize such actions for after work. After work, weekends, you guys hang out, do all those things, but at the workplace, minimize. Minimize. In fact, hugging is not encouraged at the workplace.
Yes.
Unless
but
maybe
this is the African culture. We hug. We are huggers.
For us, we hug maybe when someone has come from leave and we haven't seen you for so long.
Yeah.
But every day, I mean, I saw you yesterday, and so they should minimize familiarity during working hours, and also they should encourage one another to be professional. Yeah, they'll be like, "Hey, when boy wangu lakini tuko job."
Yes, I like that. Okay, we've got another question here that's come in from Sheila, and it's about actually whether or not we can turn this light over to now the employees. And she asked, why is it always rather employees who are always on the wrong? What about employers? And I like that question because it actually ties in with the Labor Relations Act. What do employers know about employees' rights? Because it seems like we always have to know what we ought to do, but employers don't seem to follow the rules.
Yes.
And so you've got a lot of companies who are so ad hoc in their, in how they operate. Today they do this, tomorrow they fire this, tomorrow they just change this. Yeah, maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
What I like about this new act that we have is it actually really serves the employee. Yeah. Like you'll find these days, a lot of employers are going the extra mile to get to know what is legally binding and how they should operate. Because before it was, it's my company. I can fire any time I feel like. But these days they are very deliberate. Because remember, at the end of the day, it's a cost to them also. If they have terminated an employee unfairly. Yes. Not only is it a cost to them, it's also reputational risk for them. Yeah. Because then no one, I mean, if the case even goes to court, or even us young people, we'll talk among ourselves, don't go work for those guys. Yeah. They don't treat employees well. So no employer wants to be known for treating their employees badly. So most of them are actually even if they don't have HR departments, they're actually consulting a lot with HR consultants on how to go about managing their employees. So I can see there are a lot of steps that they have taken. Well, of course, we'll still have those who are not very well conversant. But I would like to encourage people to also have open dialogue with their employers. Sometimes you'll find they are unaware. They don't know that they are treating someone badly. To them, they think, it's normal. But you sit them down and tell them, hey, boss.
According to this and this and this and this.
Yes. It's not illegal to do that. You can have a sit down. It's actually your right. If you feel aggrieved, you can have a sit down with your employer, in a mature and amicable way, and you sit down and you discuss issues that are affecting you, or even a group of employees. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So for them, they should encourage open dialogue.
Okay. Let's build on that point of wrongful termination.
Yes.
Can you actually describe for us what is wrongful termination? Because perhaps many of us don't even know that we were terminated wrongfully. And I've also seen a question here that's coming through 22162, and I like it because it kind of ties into that particular question that I had for you about how to resign professionally. Before we get to that, give us a definition of wrongful termination.
Wrongful termination is when you have been sent home for something you feel was unfair or unwarranted. An example would be you've been conducting performance appraisals and your supervisor has been giving you a good grade, 75% and above. Then now they terminate you based on performance. That is wrongful because during their evaluations, there has been no indication that you've been performing below par. Okay. Because even as if you are performing below par, there are normally steps.
Yes.
You're either put on a performance improvement plan, or you're told the areas that you need to work on. But if everything has been above board, and then later they come and say, we've dismissed you because you're not achieving your objectives.
Then you say, wait.
Yes.
But my appraisal shows. And that's why appraisals are so important.
They are.
We don't take them seriously.
Yes, they are.
You're like, whatever, who cares what you think about
they
me?
Are. So that one straight, that one is wrongful. In fact, you have a case that you can even take them to court.
Right.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
What? Good. Food for thought. Now, in many cases, Lucy, you find that young people, their idea of quitting is just Rudy.
They just don't show up.
They just don't come back. As in, maybe you just wake up and tramoka and that's it, you know. Is that right? Okay, I know there are cases where some people are not remunerated.
Yes.
And, you know, that is their basis for not bothering to come back. But you hear this a lot. People just don't come back to work.
That's why, even for employers, they should have contracts. You know, sometimes if you don't have a contract, you're like, why am I informing anyone? Let me just go. Then there are those contracts. If you do not confirm your employee, you know, your contract, the notice period is 7 days. So they'll write for you an email on Monday. I'm off.
Yeah.
So that's why it's very important to engage the employees.
Yes.
And to also just have conversations with them.
Okay.
Because for the employees also, you don't want to leave a place in bad light. You don't burn bridges, because you never know in future when you might need people on this other side. Or you might want to come back.
Yeah.
So in as much as maybe you feel your employer has been unfair to you, just be decent about it.
Yes.
Just tell them, thank you for the opportunity, but I don't think this is for me.
And put it in writing.
Yes. You put it in writing. Yeah, because even as you leave, sometimes you're leaving and you're leaving your benefits behind. You've just gone and you've gone.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe you had earned leave days. You're supposed to be paid for those leave days. Maybe you have a bonus that was due to you and you just left it.
Yes.
Yeah, so in as much as we are rash about our decisions, we need to be... Also, we need to look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Okay, moving on, let's talk about contracted employees. And this is where you get the internship programs. People, you know, who are contracted artists, so to speak. Bulk of the task force that we have in a lot of organizations are interns. People who have short lease contracts. How are these people supposed to approach employment, and what can they really do to protect themselves? Because these are the people who are affected the most. Interns don't get, you know, what
pension,
yes,
medical.
They don't, yes. And there are people who even intern for years, 1 year, 2 years. Is that even legal?
For me, you know? I don't think you should actually be an intern for more than 11 months. The 12th month is for them to confirm that now, yes, you've done your internship, you've finished your probation, and now we want to take you. Maybe now they give you a contract, but not an intern contract, because you see now your contract will change. From intern, maybe now you become an associate. So the terms will change, your pay will change, and then you'll also enjoy a few other benefits that probably as an intern you wouldn't enjoy. And then I would also say, because most companies, some can't afford to give their employees what we call medical, but you can negotiate with them and they give you gratuity, which at the end of maybe your contract, say it's a contract of 3 years, they have a lump sum of money they can give you, which sometimes translates almost to a similar thing as pension.
Yes.
Because remember, they're not paying for you pension. They're not giving you medical. All expenses are on you from what you agreed will be your salary.
Yes.
So for me, I'd encourage people to start having that gratuity talk.
Yes.
It forms a fallback plan of some kind. Yeah.
Okay. And even for example, for the interns, what should they always keep in mind as they do the internship program? Because like we said, they will tend to actually say, okay, you know what, my internship was not worth it, I wasn't treated well. What should interns always keep in mind?
I believe every day is a learning day. Even for me at my level, I'm always learning things every day. So for them, they should look at it very open-minded, but then again, they should give themselves a time a time span. If things are not working for me here, what else can I be doing? Because you also don't want to feel like you're wasting your time and effort. So you also think of a plan B. Don't always be so keen on that. Let me just stay here. Let me just stay here. Have a plan B. In terms of, we can't all start our own businesses, but we have our networks. What are your other peers doing? Is there an opportunity somewhere? Some have secured jobs. They can bring you on board. Like for me, where I currently work, I get a lot of the people who come to work for us through referrals for the people who are already working there. So yeah, always also keep in touch with the people you went to school with, previously interacted with, so that you don't feel like it's just you against the world.
Okay, but do these people have rights? Is there something that the law says about individuals who are classified as interns or contracted artists, for example?
I think this is when we are beginning to really focus on that, because before people used to look at it like they're doing people a favor to give them internship. That's why you find most interns are not even paid. But at least
doing me a favor.
Yes.
In fact, we're doing you a favor for letting you be here.
You know? So we are changing that mindset. That's why you'll find a lot of companies also have started their own graduate trainee programs. And those graduate trainee programs are very good because they take you, you just don't do one thing. You're taken across, I'll take an example of KRA. They'll take you across probably almost all the departments during their training. Their training is about, I think, a year or a year and a half. And during that training, you've covered practically everything that KRA does. And they pay you as they're training you. But you see, for other organizations, they're like, so for private organizations, I've seen also other companies coming up with a similar thing. So people are changing their mindset, because what people have realized, interns, if you induct them and treat them very well, they can make very, very good future employees. And you don't need to even go to the market to look for people. You just say, you already know what we do. Come, we promote you.
Okay, I like that. All right, so my director tells me we're running out of time. But that being said, Lucy, as we wind up, I would like to talk about personal responsibility and how we, by the way, as employees, can actually create a good relationship with our employer. Just which is a word of advice, okay? And how you would encourage us to actually, succeed in the workplace.
Show initiative. Always want to know more than you're supposed to. That's how, for me, like, even as I'm recruiting, one of the things I do during the first behavioral test, I like to see what type of person are you. Are you the people who like learning? You know, there are some people you can't teach.
Yes.
So if you enjoy learning and listening, and you're someone who can then encourage others around you, you can mentor. Because in as much as we continue growing in our careers, you're also coaching those who come after you. So I will encourage people to continue learning in their current roles, and also learn more than it could be an internet course. Just grasp some things. Like in IT world, a lot of them do their training internet. They don't go to school. So you'll find them learning a lot of things by themselves. They are taking personal initiative. Then also be accountable. In as much as you're working, sometimes we have our off days. You do practically nothing the whole day. You come to the office, you look busy, but you're not actually doing anything. So just be personally accountable. Always have deliverables. Say, today this is what I want to have accomplished. Because remember, you're on your employer's time. They are paying you to be there. So you are there, you're on Facebook, you're...
Tone down on the social media. Even if I tell you to talk to us on social media, tone down.
I mean, we don't run on social media, but because sometimes it's a good distraction. But don't be there 24/7. Do something productive, because you can find some people, they just need 4 hours to be very productive. Others require a whole day. But since people know themselves, they should work at their strengths. And also loyalty is a big thing. Loyalty for us young people is becoming a rare commodity. So loyalty plays a big part in your relationship also with your employer.
Okay. Someone actually said to me earlier on that sometimes, you know, even as young people, we don't take responsibility for a lot of the stuff that happens to us. Why is it so important as we're saying goodbye that we read every act that comes out?
It's impossible to read every act.
Yeah.
But
it's impossible. But it's possible
yes,
to know.
To know.
Yes.
Yes, to have an idea.
Have an idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's good for you personally, so that no one takes advantage of you.
Okay.
So you're well aware.
Yeah.
And that way, even someone who was attempting to take advantage of you will be like, hey, huyu
amesoma.
huyu nisimcheze.
I like that, and that actually falls on every individual.
Yes.
It's really up to you to know what your rights are. I like it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That is definitely Lucy Mutegi-Hr Manager at Tanganzo Relations, talking to us about labor relations. And we said, okay, of course it's impossible to know everything that the act says about labor, but you know, have an idea about how to approach that very workplace that you're in right now. And we sure hope that this conversation definitely helped. Lucy, how can someone reach you in case they need some HR services?
I'll give them my work email.
Yes.
It's lucy.mutungi@tangazoletu.com.
Thank you so much.
Thank
All right, you
you.
heard it for yourself. Well, we want to say thank you so much for keeping it Y254 on this fine morning. Happy holiday to you and yours. And of course, as we celebrate all those hard-working Kenyans, continue to do so. Have a fruitful week up ahead. My name is Shiko Kaitani, and on behalf of Y in the Morning, thanks for watching.